Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Slayer Ultimates Minotaur figure from Super 7. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks fantastic, and I mean, really, this is the central figure of the cover of Slayer Show No Mercy, come to life / plastic, and they did a fantastic job here. The base body, I don't think this has been used on any other Ultimates, but I mean, still very, kind of a basic human-style torso. I think they did a nice job here, especially with kind of the highlights for the muscles, so they just kind of stick out a little bit more. We get that goat head and fantastic details here. I really like that they use the silver for the eyes, which obviously calls to the pentagram here on the head, and then the crown with the fire itself, this really nice translucency. Just clear enough. They definitely catch some light off of that, like the kind of nice dry brush they did here over the horns. Horns are also like not painful, so that's also nice. There's a little bit of give there. Other than that, just good details all around. Pretty clean paint, so to speak. The eyes, got a little bit of over paint right there, and a little bit of under paint here on this head, but not really noticeable until you really get like right up on it. Beyond that, we get this really nice cape, and you can see the seam on the inside, which is a little weird. It kind of takes away from the front view a little bit, but if you're kind of like making action poses and stuff like that, you're not going to notice it quite as much. You do get the star and the moon here on as the basically buttons for the chain, which is real metal from what I can tell. So that's a very, very nice touch. Then we get all these spikes in silver, very, very 80s. Of course, we get the Slayer belt buckle, really nice shaded gold. And this is a rubbery piece here for the hips. And unfortunately mine, I've heated this up and I just can't get this fold to kind of come out. So it makes it look a little uneven. So that's probably my least favorite part here, but everything else is good. We got a dry brush going on here on the legs as well. Just kind of add a little bit of character to those fuzzy legs. And then we get some nice shiny, almost pleather sort of look and texture to the boots. With also some good sculpt with the folds and stuff, just kind of gives it a natural look. So yeah, really, really cool looking figure. Really great load of accessories going on here, so let's jump into it. And right out of the box, we do get a couple of grips with a horizontal hinge. Then we get a couple of fists. I get a couple of grips with vertical hinges. Always love that as a touch. Then of course we get the horns. And finally, we do get the Baphomet style hands. I definitely have an affinity for this. For those of you who have not seen my reviews before, I do have the Solve et Coagula tattoos. So again, this is very welcome addition for me. And then we get into heads. So we get our neutral head, which we looked at in the last section. Again, very nice details, very well done. And then we get a alternate head with same details, but this time the mouth is open. Actually kind of like this one better. A really nice rage face sort of going on there. So yeah, very nice paint all around as well. So really good there. And then finally, we get the sword that he is wielding on the cover of Show No Mercy. Done very, very well. I will note that the handle is actually it's not quite gummy, but it's definitely pliable where the blade isn't. And kind of good because it makes it easier to get into the hand. Clearly is cast in like a translucent plastic and then painted very well as to boot, because really nice gold, the bright silver we've seen. We do get dye by the sword here on both sides of the blade, so really cool touch. Again, the blade is very sharp, but yeah, just very nice details all around. So that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are very, very nice, and as you can see, freestanding kicks, which is excellent. Even with the cape, like the cape's light enough, it doesn't really kind of pull it down. So yeah, great there. In terms of the finer points, the articulation, we do get our barbell joint, which we are used to with Super 7. So not a ton of up. We're definitely running into the sculpt here at the back. I think they could have parted that a little bit or kind of changed it so it could get a little more up. We do get some okay down, and we get some tilt, and of course rotation. For our shoulders, we are hinge and swivel. We're coming into a perfect T. Do a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, which bring us just before 90. We do get rotation as well. For the hands, we do get hinge and swivel. all horizontal except for those vertical hinges for the secondary gripping hands. Then we get a standard ab crunch, and that's going to bring us from neutral to that far forward. Actually, not bad range at all. Really nice arch back. Then we get some swivel at the waist for the hips. Come out, full splits, positively beautiful. We do get thigh swivel there as well. Our front kick is not quite 90, especially because of the rubberiness of the trunks. We're going to be kind of pushing down there. So there's that. For the knees coming up, not quite 90, but we do get rotation, but not in and out. It's like pretty much literal rotation. Then we come to the feet. Perfect point. Actually some decent forward, and then some very, very nice rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other Super 7 Ultimates. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with an articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Slayer Ultimates Minotaur figure from Super 7 is that this figure rules. This is one of those figures that's as fun as I was hoping it would be. And yeah, it totally delivers on all fronts, I think. Again, the only unfortunate part really being that, like, you know, because the trunks are rubbery, that right leg just kind of like stays folded in. I couldn't warm that up to kind of fix it. But beyond that, everything looks great. The accessories are fantastic. It's just fun to pose, and you know, definitely cannot endorse it more than that. So if you're a fan of Slayer, if you're a fan of like Baphomet, Goat People, etc., totally pick this up. It is available from various online resources, so I'll have a link or two in the description below for you to check out if you are interested. So that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, I hope to see you back, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back. Let's just escape the world for a while, talk about some really nice plastic, and yeah, just kind of get lost. So ultimately, really at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.